Will's the person I did everything with. We went to movies, we went to eat, we went on random road trips, we went to ball games, we just, we went bowling, we did everything, and it's a huge loss because it was my only real friend that I guess for lack of a better term kicked it with, because most of my other friends IRL here, you know, they are all married, or they have kids, or they have responsibilities and families, and everything else, and they can't really make plans. So Will and I were like thick as thieves. We hung out all the time, and then being roommates on top of it, I mean, we had our ups and downs. We probably went back and forth a ton of times while I've been here, just over you know life, because it was his first apartment, and he wasn't used to cohabitating with somebody, and we butted heads some of the times, but we would always apologize to each other and move on, and we were good. But man, it just sucks because in my mom's case, it's different from my mom because, yeah, my mom passed away while I was holding her hand. I got to say goodbye. I didn't never got to say a goodbye to my friend. Never got to say goodbye to my friend. And that, I think, really sits bad with me. And then just the suddenness of it, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And, you know, I have been so off kilter since it happened because I'm still in in a lot of ways, state of shock. I can't process this. I can't believe he's gone. And I'm here in this apartment and it's not even mine, and it's really eerie. Like, I can't even walk in his room. I can't walk in his room right now. It's crazy. But, he did so much, not only for me, I mean, because this will tell you guys what kind of friend he was. So when things went badly, and this was after I had sold my mom's house, when I was staying at the extended stay, because I had a couple streams from the extended stay when I was living in the hotel there. Um, Eventually, what people don't know is that the limited money I had dried out, and I got behind, and then all of a sudden I had to leave. My fiance had to leave. Um, her 7-year-old son needed a place to go, and her 7-year-old moved into a rental, and I was left all of a sudden facing being homeless. Will stepped up to the plate and said, you can come out here. Yeah, I live an hour away from you, but you can come out to where I'm at in my new apartment. You could stay here, and you just started a job. You can work your job and put away money till you get back on your feet and get a place. And that's what he did for me. There was no questions asked about it. He just insisted, because he didn't want to see me living out of my car, or sleeping at rest stops or whatever. And
Mhm.
I appreciate that about him, because that was the biggest gesture that anyone did, period, for in the situation at the time. And now he's gone, and it's just like I said, it's still a shock, it's a trauma, and I'm not processing it well. you know um I'm glad I got on a stream, some kind of forum, to talk about it, because I haven't really talked about it with many people, and it's hard. It's very hard. I'm not keeping it together well.
Well, I wish I could help more. I mean, as soon as I found out, I called you, and I was glad I was able to talk to you for a little bit. It was early in the morning, and I could tell you were distressed. But I was, I tried. That's all I could do. I was nothing more I could do for you.
I'm
But
beside myself right now.
I know, and I
I
could
don't
tell.
know. I don't
And
know.
I'm glad that you found him, though, because if you weren't living with him, who knows how long he would have stayed there by himself.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful that you
Yeah.
were his friend. You guys were best friends. You got to spend the last moments of his life hanging out like best friends in the same place. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things you can think about. Um, from this bad situation that you were both in, basically, because he was in a place where he needed you more as a friend because of his personal stuff that was going on with him, and he was able to provide for you and help you, and you knew he would because he just adored you. He just thought you were everything. I mean, I could just tell by the way he interacted with you that he just looked up to you and just wanted to emulate you, and he was just proud to have you as his friend. It
Well,
didn't
Janet,
matter.
he was so happy when we made him a part of United Resistance. He was so happy, so
I
happy.
know. I could tell. He
You
was just a
know,
wonderful person too.
and he
He was a
was
sweetheart.
eventually planning on branching out, starting his own YouTube channel.
Mhm.
He was like, "I'll get to it, but I'm going to do it. I'll get to it, but I'm going to do it." God. But he said, yeah, he was going to do that here probably pretty soon, and it just, and he never got to do that. Darn it, and I'm just, God, I miss him. I miss him so much.
I miss him too. I mean, I am sure it's not the same as it
Oh,
was
he
for you.
thought that. Yeah,
You guys,
he thought you were the cat's meow. I know
well,
that.
I thought he was adorable, and I told him that all the time. He was just a sweetheart. He was adorable. He was a kind, gentle soul, and it's a sadder place now without him.
It
And
is. It
I'm
is.
just glad I was able to have some means of being able to have you be able to talk about it, share it with other people who knew Will, that knew you, and knew me, because we all were together. We did a lot of things together. It was fun. We laughed a lot. We teased each other a lot. But I'm thankful for getting to meet Will, and I wouldn't have met him if I hadn't been for you. So I want to thank you for that, at least, because he was a wonderful person.
He
I
seemed like
liked
a
him.
good guy. I mean,
Yeah, he was. He was a
you had
sweetheart.
you had a really good friend there, Drew, and as just a casual observer of you are, I just I have to say that like you had a guy that was willing to be your ride or die. Like you and him are brothers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You don't
Yeah.
get that. You like a lot of people never will get that.
Yeah. I mean, he was, for all intents and purposes, like my brother. I mean, we fought like brothers. We hung out like brothers. It was a special kind of friendship, man. Like one that a lot of people don't get. I mean, he was a true best friend for 16 years. I knew that guy was best friends with him, and you know, it just it sucks. It really sucks. Like just all of these circumstances. Because I think back, and all this loss, like first mom, and then about a week and a half ago, a really dear female friend of mine in real life passed away suddenly because, and they still haven't solved, because they think it is murder. They haven't solved her murder yet. And then, of course, then a week later, Will just passes away. And of course, this was considered natural causes, but they still don't know what exactly natural causes killed him. Now I have my suspicions. I think it was cardiac arrest in his sleep, but they haven't confirmed that yet. We won't probably know anything for another 3 weeks. So it's sad. It's really sad. I mean, like I said, he was since I don't have family around here, he was my rock. He was my rock, and Janet, a lot of the other personal circumstances going on with me with the love life
Mhm.
situation and things like that. Will was my sounding board for that behind the scenes, because I was living with him. He was right here.
Yeah, I
And there were
know.
a lot of times I talked to him, and he talked things through with me. And, he's just like, hey, if it's going to make you happy, I'll help you out whatever way I can, man, with that situation, too. So, I mean, he was just all about having my back. And, you know, I'm just so lost right now.
I'm sorry, Drew, but the time is the only thing that's going to be able to help you with that. That's it. It sounds callous, I guess, or whatever. But honestly, when I lost my mom, I cried every day for a month, basically. I didn't think I was ever going to survive. So that's why I felt so bad for you, because I knew exactly what you felt like to lose your best friend. It's like your very best friend. And now you're going through a similar situation, but this time, you didn't get to say bye. So that you're going to always have that little sadness to know that you weren't there for him when you could have been, but I'm sure you couldn't have done anything. But it was God the one that took him.
Well,
So
the
why
time
he's gone,
frame,
we don't know.
the time frame where he passed away, according to the medical examiner, it was while I was at work. So, there's not a whole lot I could have done, because I wasn't here. I was at work. So it just it it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. I'm just, like I said, I'm just shattered inside. You know,
I'm sorry that you're going through this. I really wish it was something I could do to help you with that. But this is just something you're going to have to take one day at a time. And hopefully, as you're going through his things and helping with his dad get everything all put up, that maybe that'll help you a little bit. But time is the only thing that's going to help. Because I remember talking to 3 or 4 of my friends, YouTube friends, about their mother passing too, and wondering just like, how long does it take? How many days does it take of your life before the hole starts to fill in with something good? So
well, I don't think we ever get over the loss of our parents.
I don't think we get over any loss, honestly.
Yeah.
Your pet, when you lose your pet you've had for 12, 14 years or whatever, you have a bond with them. It's almost as devastating, I think, to some people when they lose their pet, because it depends on your relationship with the person that passes, whether it's an animal or it's your mother or your lover or your best friend. It's whatever. Like a person I know that recently passed away, they were sick for 12 years. They had Alzheimer's. So over the 12 years, they became more and more distant, to where when they did pass, it wasn't so devastating. It was kind of relieving to know that they were no longer suffering. You see? So it depends on the situation of what's happening and how they're passing too.
Well, what's so shocking to me is Will didn't show any signs of being sickly or anything like that, or, I mean, he was just his normal self when he went to bed and everything else, that the last time that I saw him. And I was just like, that's why it just hit me so out of left field.
Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, that's to be kind of expected. I mean, you're not gonna see like a sudden illness a mile away. You're gonna see it 5 inches away when you're doing 70, and then you hit it. And that's the horrible jarring part about it.
But you guys, he was only 39 years old. That's the kicker.
My friend Paul.
39?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was 39. He had a birthday just a couple of months ago, right?
Yeah, and he's 39.
One of my players
I don't know.
died
That's weird.
when I was 31 and he was 34. He had a Jim Morrison style heart attack in the bathtub. I mean, he was a bigger dude. Like, look at Ruben at about 30 pounds, and about make Ruben 6'3", and that was Paul. Paul was 34, died in the bathtub, and just floored all of us. Nobody saw this coming.
Yeah.
And I mean, we constructed a because his family wouldn't really allow us to. We went to a friend's private lake or a private house, and we built a boat, lit it on fire with an arrow, and sank it to the bottom of the lake in honor of Paul. That was how Paul wanted to go. His mom and dad were like Baptists. They're like, no, you are not doing a pagan ritual. So he went over to his buddy's house and built a boat and had a bunch of things that remind us of Paul. And he launched that off the jetty and then sank it. One of our friends is an archer, kind of like what Connell is. So
yeah,
it's easy to do that. But like 34 years old, I mean, you know, you don't understand the gravity of the words, the good die young. Until literally you are watching somebody who's not even complaining about, like, I've got short dick syndrome. Do you ever have short dick syndrome? And you're like, what? It's when you wake up without a boner. And like, Paul wasn't complaining about this. This was not part of his parlance. Paul was talking about virility.
I don't have that issue.
He was healthy.
Either do I.
I do.
She's got a short place.
I don't have one.
I don't have that issue.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, some people complain about things like, you know, growing older and like, oh, my T cells are down, or I got to go in and get a colonoscopy, or he wasn't to that stage yet. He was still experiencing the young man syndrome because his wife was happy and pregnant with a kid.
Mm-hmm.
And they were, like 34. So like that kind of hit me in hard, and hearing your buddy here, you know, you talk about this, I'm getting flashbacks to my bro.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't close to him like you were to Paul, to Will. You know, I didn't have that luxury. I would have loved to have a good bro rant with Paul, and I would have loved to have been closer with his wife, and I would like to be able to like watch his kid grow up with his dad alive. But we got robbed of that. And it sucks. Like
it does.
Like there's no healthy way to say it. You just grieve. You just fucking grieve. You know, it's
I must be abnormal.
Well, you know, it just like I said, though, every one of us have to grieve in our own way, and no one knows you better than you know yourself. So,
well, I'm in uncharted territory here. Just like I said, I've never gone through this. Like, I mean, I grieved mom.
You know what makes you feel better, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
So you know that if you stay busy and you try not to spend lots of time by yourself, whether you're doing things for other people or putting in extra hours at work or things like that, that's better for you. Because sitting in a dark room by yourself, thinking about it all day long isn't good for you. And you know that isn't. You see, you tell me. If I called you and I told you what I was going through, you would be telling me, well, you need to get off your ass. You need to go out there and do this, and you need to try this, and you need to try that. And that's exactly what I would tell you. It's because I want you to be okay. You know, I want you to be mentally and physically okay. And that's what I would tell my friends, is to try to, you know, get out and get some sunshine, get outside, get some fresh air, spend some more time with other people in your life, you know, like your cats. Take your cats out for a walk, spend some time outside with your cat.
Well, they don't go for walks. They just walk on me.
Okay, well, then do that. You know, spend a couple hours doing something that's fun, that you enjoy. Watch a good movie. Go to the movie theater and watch a movie so that you can be interacting with other people, watching something fun, doing something entertaining. to take your mind off of the things. There's tons of things that you do. Volunteer. That's one of the things that I did. I started going, believe it or not, to Salvation Army and cleaning. I
Well,
sorted.
my
I did
job
lots of things.
my job normally keeps me busy, but when I went in on Thursday, they just pretty much they knew what had happened, so they pulled me aside and they said, you know, we're urging you to take 2 personal days, so take Friday and take Monday as
Yeah.
personal days, and then they even sent me home early Thursday because with my job being what it is, being a traffic flagger and being out there with like cars like racing by you. Yeah, they really didn't feel it was safe for me to be out there with my head being all over the place right now. And you know what? I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that the company did look out for me from that aspect. I'm not happy over the lost income, but I am happy from that aspect.
Yeah. Well, that's good. They are actually caring about their employees' mental health. And what are we always talking about with the crazy stuff that's going on with these shootings and these people doing some of these crazy things that they're doing, is that we're worried that not enough people are getting the mental help that they need. So it's good to know that at least you're working for somebody that's making an effort to help you help yourself. And, right now, I'm not going to really go into details about it, but I have someone in my family that's going into a lot of having a very, very hard emotional time. And I've been spending a lot of time on the phone with them, trying to help them with links and just listening to them, just talk. Because sometimes just having someone to listen to you makes a big difference on helping you give you encouragement to help you through something that's bad. And not everybody has that. I do that on my Discord. If someone talks to me and I see it, I try to interact with them, because personal interaction is one of the best things you can get in your life. That's why I'm not a person that can sit at home all day long and not talk to somebody or not have some type of interaction on the phone or going, to the store or meeting them for lunch or something, because I'm a physical person. I need it. I need to be around other people. I need to interact. I'm not one of those people that can sit at home for a week and not have any interaction with people. But I know people that do that, which I just don't see how that can be healthy.
Right.
I'm mentally because that's not good for you. It's just not good to not. That's why I reached out as soon as I heard, even though I was tired. And as soon as I saw that, that's the first thing I did was dial your number, because I wanted to make sure that you were all right, even though I couldn't do anything. I could absolutely do nothing but listen. That was it. But I just wanted you to know that somebody was thinking about you, that somebody cares about you. And that to me is important, to know that you'll be missed. And I want to be missed. When I'm gone, I hope that people are going to miss me. But the only way they're going to know that you're going to miss them is if you hear from them once in a while.
Right. Right.
So that's important for us. That's what, as friends, and we always say we have a fellowship, we have this and we have that. But if nobody makes any effort, reaching across or writing a letter. I mean, how many people do you know that actually send Christmas cards anymore?
Yeah. Well,
I did it for years. I'd send 50 cards one Christmas and I'd get 20. And then another Christmas, I'd send 50 cards and I'd get 16. And now I get like 3. So
well,
guess what? I don't mail them anymore. I just call.
well, I got my number changed like a month or so ago, so I still got a bunch of people to reach out to with my new number yet, but
Give me your
I
number.
got a
Damn
new
it.
phone.
but
Yeah, I got his new number. He made sure I got it.
yeah.
But the thing is that, that's
Well, the
important.
hot women always get it first.
Thank you.
Can't fault you there. Can't fault you there.
But the thing is that to me, that I talk about that a lot, about why it's important to have good relationships. And you can't have any relationship if you don't both do something. If one person's making all the effort, doing all the contacting, all the calling, all the preparation and stuff, that's a one-sided relationship. That's not a relationship. that's just one person doing everything. And every person I meet like that never interacts over time, I finally just start filling it in with other people. And then sooner or later they say, well, how come we never talk anymore? I'm like, I don't know. I used to invite, I had people I used to invite every week to the gym. You want to go to the gym with me? You want to go to the gym with me? You want to go to the gym with me? And then after, 7 or 8 months of it, and they never go, I finally stopped asking them, because I'm like, well, I'm just not going to ask. And I go by myself.
Where do you live? I want to go.
But the thing is that we have to prioritize our time, and if a person's not going to help or interact with you for any, no matter how much effort
They're
you
not
make,
making the priority.
then you need to change who your priorities are. So, and that's what I've been doing this last year and a half, is trying to change my focus on not really just being self-centered and just focusing on myself, but I am focusing more on myself, because now I'm taking my time that's valuable and spending it where I feel like it's more important, because I'm actually getting something back from it, from my time that I'm putting into something. So I wish, you know what I mean?
Well, that is the solution to everything. It's basically, or that is the meaning of everything right now.
Mm-hmm.
This event shows us that we're not immortal. We won't live forever. And the time that we have is not as much as we have gone through, at least from my perspective. I could live another 50 years, but pushing it. So I want every day to be the best day of my life. That's the most important thing. I'm fighting every day. I'm almost there. I'm now officially halfway through my goal. I've crossed the 51% mark.
Awesome.
I have lost 187 pounds, and I have
Badass.
185.
Nice.
I have 185 to go.
Nice.
That is phenomenal. Ruben,
Thanks.
it is awesome.
So,
You should be so proud of yourself, and look in the mirror and just say, I've done it. Look how far I've come.
Yeah, at
Which
least
means-
cross that halfway part. Yeah. So
That's
yeah,
right.
So then
but
basically,
the thing is, you've been successful. See?
right. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So that's why I'm
A lot of people can't say that.
That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get, and that's basically, I'm gonna be like flypaper. As I drop down, if any lady wants to come along for the ride, then there we go. Because I know, because I've done, I know. Drew, this is true. You don't even know this. I decided that I'm gonna look for someone to remarry and start a family, or help her with her family, and that's my main goal now, to make America great again. Make America great again.
Yeah, I'm not gonna even talk about what's going on in that department for me right now, but yeah.
No, it's all about improving yourself first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't think yourself, you're never going to be great for somebody else.
Yeah, Janet knows, but I'm not going to share it publicly.
No.
Yeah, there's no reason to. There's no reason to. I mean, there's no reason to talk about things, especially when something you can't control right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have any say in things. You might as well just step back and just see what happens. And when that happens, then you could talk about it. But until then, there's really just no reason to put hope in there or doubt in there on either side. That doesn't need to be there until facts happen.
Well, I don't know. Like right now, I mean, with just the way all these circumstances played out, I'm in an existential crisis. That's what it boils down to, and I've got a ticking clock that I got to try and beat now, and, just make sure I get to a safe roof over my head. I don't know how that's going to happen, but I'm just going to pray on it and hope that, it comes together, because
it will. I mean, I
really
would.
I really would rather not
sell the house when you didn't think you were going to be able to sell the house. Remember?
Yeah, but I really would rather not be homeless.
Well, I know, but right this minute you're not. So we just got to keep focusing on that you aren't right this minute, and we're going to work on making sure you aren't. Then you won't be. See, that's how you got to look at it. You got to
besides that, I've made a decision tomorrow at some point. I am going to do him a proper, just a memorial stream for Will because I think he deserves it. We're gonna talk about his contributions on United Resistance and some of the aspirations that he had, some of the interests that he had, things like that. And I'm going to share some stories that about him that people probably didn't know, and it'll be
Good.
nice. So
That'd be something for you to focus on too. Take your mind off.
tomorrow we'll do that. I know Tobat said he wanted to be on there. There's been a couple other people that have reached out that want to be on there. If any of you guys want to be on there, I'll make sure to post it on Twitter well ahead of time, early in the day, so everybody knows what time it'll be. And then, whoever would like to come join and be on the panel and just, talk about it, you're more than welcome. So, just go ahead and reach out to me via Twitter at Supreme Heretic, and we'll go from there. But yeah, that's what I'm planning on, and it'll be good.
Well, since we were talking about Will, I also wanted to bring up the fact that we lost Cardinal Sin. We lost Gil too, and I wanted to talk about him for a few minutes because I thought he was a really funny, really nice guy. Totally different than me when it comes to politics, but we never really got into anything about that. We just made each other laugh, and that's what I liked about him, is he made me laugh. And I remember one of the very first shows I ever got to watch, and I was mesmerized by it. And I wanted to share the link. Could you do that for me, Bruce?
Let me find
Are you there? It's the one. It's the YouTube link of him as when he's doing his. I put it in the private chat when he's doing his. What do you call it when you talk like someone else again?
Impersonation.
His impersonation, yeah. I just thought he was really, really good at it. And Christopher Walken was the one he was doing, and he was pretending like he was talking like him. And I remember telling everybody, close your eyes and just listen to him, because it's like he's really in the room and you're listening to Christopher Walken talking to us on this live stream. And it was just awesome. Here, I'll do it. I'll open it again. Let's see.
I'm sorry.
Let me pick it right here.
We got a lot of YouTube links in there. My bad.
Yeah, I got a bunch of YouTube links in here. So let me hold on. I'm trying to figure out how to do it again. Now I go to it and I say present once I find it, right? Oh my God. Just give me a second. Okay, I think I can get this. Okay, here it is. Now I'm going to pause it.
And technology does not mix.
I know, but I'm doing it. I'm learning. So now I say present, and then I say share my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll pick the one I want right here, and I'm going to play this from him. I'm not going to play the whole thing, but I'm going to play some of it just so everybody can kind of get an idea of how talented this person was. And I'm going to turn it up because I didn't do that last time. So make sure it's turned up. Whoops. And then here we go.
Hello, kiddies. It's Christopher Walken with a dramatic reading of The Devil Went Down to Georgia by the Charlie Daniels Band. The devil went down to Georgia, and he was looking for a soul to steal the filch. And he was in a bind because he was way behind. And naturally, he was willing to make a deal of some sort. He's going to make some lucky guy a really good price, bargain. Anyway, he comes across this young man. He's sawing on a fiddle, playing it hot. So the devil, he jumps up on a hickory stump and he says, "Boy, let me tell you What? Now, I guess you didn't know. I'm a fiddle player too. And if you care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now, I play a pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I'll bet a fiddle of gold against your soul, because I think I'm better than you. Now, you have to remember, the devil is renowned far and wide for being a high roller, a bit of an inveterate liar, and a mean son of a bitch.
Oh, he was so talented. Didn't you think he was awesome? Didn't he sound like him to you?
Yeah,
I really did like him. I thought he was so funny.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, he is really good. And I said, just close your eyes and listen. Oh my God, it sounds just like him. I've only got to meet him one time, Christopher Walken, and it was on a casual situation in a diner. So just listen to him talking and stuff. I just thought, I told him, I thought, you're just phenomenal. You sound just like him. I mean, yeah, I thought.
You met Colonel Sin?
No.
Oh.
Christopher Walken.
Oh, I'm almost disappointed more that it wasn't Gil.
I wish I could have met him. I bet it would. I would love to, and I still want us to do some type of meet and greet. I just think it would be great, like next spring when it's not too hot, not too cold, no tornadoes, no hurricanes, something, and no earthquakes. Thank goodness. So I don't want to go to California.
Janet, it gets 85 degrees in March.
Yeah, in Texas. Well, we won't do it in Texas. Let's do it like in Missouri or somewhere like, divided up somewhere or something.
Missouri would be a hell of a centralized location.
So, Janet, you know Missouri at all? You know the cities in there?
Not really, but like, what was the name of that one town that it's got like
Branson.
all the party stuff? Branson. Yeah. Why don't we do something like that? Make it fun. It's been a couple days.
The party stuff is like Ozark area. Yeah. That's like
hanging out. I don't know. I don't care where we go as long as it's somewhere we can all have a good time.
Springfield or Nixla or somewhere there, like the Ozarks, right above Arkansas, would be great because like you've got stuff you can do there, and it's rural. So if you want to like go fishing, hunting, hiking, have an outdoor pavilion, meet and greet.
Yeah, they have lots of places where you can rent cabins.
That's where I want to live,
side by side, and then you can. We could go out. We could barbecue outside, all hang out, and then when it's time to go to bed, we all go to our cabins. You know what I mean? But we each get our own place, and we can all just hang out, cook out, go fishing. Maybe, just go hiking and just sit around
gonna be there
by the bonfire and and hang out and laugh and stuff. And it wouldn't be real expensive. We wouldn't have to worry about, expensive hotels or anything. We could just go to the little store down the corner and get booze or whatever and come back and eat, make s'mores, have fun. And just enjoy each other. I think it'd be great.
Take over Springfield.
Now that's what you just described is what I want to do every day, every night.
Day.
I can't drink every night. I can't handle it.
Not every night, but just the idea.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Or sitting outside.
Janet's describing all this like I'm going to be a good person and not drink every day, and I'm thinking to myself, what type of hard?
Well, I can. I just can't do it because I can't do stuff the next day if I have a hangover or whatever. And I only have to drink like two or three those little drinks that I like, and I'll have a hangover. So it's because I don't do it a lot.
Wow.
But okay. Well, the next thing I would like to talk about is I wanted to talk about this whole thing with Jonathan Frakes having his fans criticize him, saying that he's mean or rude and doesn't treat people nice. Well, I went to Comic-Con, Arkansas Comic-Con last weekend.
Okay.
And I found out what an asshole he really was on my own. So now I can comment on it and not feel like it's wrong. But first I want to show you this video that I made and I posted on I got to do this whole thing again. So just give me a second. Oh, I suck. I got to put this in and share it. Oh my goodness. I hope I can do this right. Oh, I didn't do it right. I don't know what I did wrong. So give me a second. Oh God, why is everything so hard? All right. Now let's see if this comes up. Okay, it worked. Oh, okay. We come back and then I got to share, present.
Janet, can you highlight the 6 Nation 31 Kings comment?
Yeah, which one is it?
The last one in the list. She's going to be the first. She's going to be the first one to suggest besties tattoos after a few drinks.
Well, I do have one tattoo right here on my wrist. Let me open my sleeve here. It's little, but let's see. See it? Oops.
Yes, I see it.
It's just a little dove with a heart right there. And that is the heart is a love between me and my mom. So when I hug people, it's like my mom was hugging them too. See, that's why I got it. But I did that because of my mom. And then when my dad passes, I'm going to put another heart right there, a solid heart representing my father. And that's it. I don't want any more tattoos. Those are for my parents, and marked up my skin for them because they gave me life. So to me, it's worth it. But no, I won't get any more because everybody kept telling me that you're going to get one tattoo, you're going to want to get more, but I haven't. Because the reason I got it was because somebody died. And my mom was my best friend, even though I have 4 sisters. But, that's the way it is. But I want to share this video from before I left to go to Congress. I was so excited. And I'm going to talk about my experience a little bit, and then my experience with what happened that day with this person. So I got to share this one video. So I think it's turned up.
Ooh.
Hello, it's Janet from another planet. I'm so excited to get to be going to Comic-Con again. And I'm going to enjoy hanging out with some wonderful people that enjoy this kind of stuff as much as I do. So you guys have a wonderful Saturday. See you later.
I love Andorians. Just kidding.
Okay, so that was the video that I posted. I had my costume on, and the person I was with was dressed up as Magenta, and we went to Comic-Con. And we got our pictures taken with lots of people, and we got to meet a lot of people. We signed up for the costume contest. We had a great time. It was a lot of fun. And then I want to share this video because it shows you, for anyone who doesn't know what a Comic-Con is and what it looks like when you're there, the way they have it set up. So I want to show this because this is, to me, is important because when this person, darn it, I don't know what I'm doing. When this person was there, if I can get this to work, it's not working. It says it's not found, but it's my video. So why is it not showing? Oh, hold on. I messed up. Oh, sorry. I'm doing it. I promise I'm doing the best I can.
You're all right.
Oh my gosh. It's terrible. But okay, now I think I can get it. Okay, it's going to work. Now here's another, this is another cosplay thing that I did because I love Star Trek. So I want to show you that because I love cons and I've gone to lots of them. So this is why I wanted people that's watching to see, because I want them to understand that I've been to a lot of them, and this is why I was really affected by this person. And I think he's an asshole. So, but here's this. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, let me stop. I got to stop sharing this. I think I did that. Did it go away? Okay. Sorry, because I can't see this screen when I'm looking at the other one. So that's what makes me really, I'm messing up. Okay, so now I got one more. Where is it? I think I put it in the private chat real quick. Okay, hold on. I'm not very good at this stuff, but I'm learning.
I wonder how many times you're going to say that tonight.
Probably 100. I don't know.
Stop.
But okay, I think this one is the one, the new one. Let me get this in here because I want people to kind of get an idea if this is going to work. Please let it be it. Nope, this isn't it either. Damn it. I'm so terrible at it. I'm going to go to my channel and just get it really quick. So just give me 1 second. You guys talk amongst yourself for a second because I'm slow. Oh my goodness, this is terrible.
Hey, Drew.
Meanwhile,
Drew, I don't know if you've got the ability to apply yourself or apply at a Swift or heaven forbid Prime Incorporated, but I know that whenever I was needing to get my life back on track, I got in the cab of a truck and I passed my test and I drove. And you don't earn bad money; you earn between like 40 and 70 a year. Bye, Drew. Damn it.
He'll be right back. I think he bumped the phone or whatever.
Okay.
But let me. I want to go ahead and do this now. I think I got it. I think I got it ready.
That was 2006.
This is what it looks like when you're at a con. Yeah, here he is. Let me add him again real quick. There we go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
He's back. Okay, so now I'm going to share this. This is what it looks like at a con. Okay. Big open area with lots of booths and vendors selling their wares, talking about what they do and their comic book, or they make memorabilia, or they're Comic-Con people themselves. It just depends on, what it is that they're looking for, basically. So that's what a Comic-Con looks like. You got people running around in costumes, some people not in costumes, but they're carrying like their comic books to get autographed, or they're carrying their figurines or some other thing that they collected that they're going to get a certain person that might be there to autograph it. It might be for wrestling, It might be for comic books, it might be for movies, all kinds of stuff. Well, it's open, as you can see, right? It's wide open. So when I stood in line to get William Shatner's autograph, you stand in line and you zigzag through the line until it's your turn. You get up there, you get to meet them, and they autograph whatever it is that you want them to sign. I did the same thing with Christopher Lloyd. Well, then my third person was Jonathan Frakes. So I'm standing in line. I got my costume on, and the other person I'm with, is dressed as magenta. They're running around, they're looking at stuff, and they're purchasing a few things. And they come over in the line. It's when I'm almost halfway up by this time, after 35 minutes to get to my autograph from him on my manual. I have a World Federation manual of all the planets that are involved in the Federation for Star Trek. And that's what I'm getting autographed. So I'm standing there, and here she comes, and she says, "See those two people over there?" And I said, "Yeah." She said, and it was two security people with a man and a woman. And I was like, "Well, what's going on?" She said, "Well, they're being told by the security that they have to delete any pictures they took of Jonathan Frakes when they walk by." And I was like, "But it's wide open. It's a huge wide open area with lines taped on the ground and people standing in line to get his autograph, or to buy a picture and have him autograph it, or they have little like dolls or figurines or something from Star Trek, the TV show, right? And to get autographed, or you can get a selfie with him. So apparently he doesn't want anyone walking by and taking a picture unless they want to pay $60 or more to get a picture with him.
Oh my God.
Can you believe that? And no, I got a thing we're going to put up after this, and him griping. It's his response to fans criticizing him. But the thing is, I was there, and I saw all the people that were willing to pay him money to get his autograph on whatever it is that they brought, their treasure, because that this manual to me is like a treasure to me. I've had it for many years. I love it. And I take it anytime I'm going to get anyone that's involved with Star Trek, whether it's costume people, whatever, any part of Star Trek, I get them to autograph the very open page. You open it and there's a gray page there with a logo at the bottom. And that area I have fulfilled for autographs. But this person was so self-centered and selfish that a person that's probably not even into Star Trek happens to recognize him because of who he is, because he's a famous actor. And they take a picture while they're walking by, and he sicks his security people on him and demands that they delete the pictures off their phone. So what does that tell you about this person? Not much for me. This is not I'm never for his autograph ever.
That's prima donna behavior, man. It's, Janet, I'm so glad, and here's the flip side of that. So back in 2013, when I met Katie Sackhoff and Trisha Helfer from Battlestar Galactica, I mean, I met them at a charity event, completely different setting. And, they sat there and talked to me for like 20 minutes. And they talked to me like they were like my neighbor, I mean, there was no charging money or anything like that. I was like excited as all get out. And my mom was still alive at the time. I called Mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm like literally standing next to Katie Sackhoff. This is awesome. And she's like, oh my God, really? And Katie Sackhoff grabs the phone, because I had talked to her, just before that, and said, man, I wish my mom could have came, but she's really sick and everything. And she grabs the phone. Katie grabs the phone for me, gets on there, talks to my mom for like 20 minutes. And she just made my mom's life, man. It was great, because my mom was a huge fan of hers. And it was just they were the nicest people. But that's the flip side of that. I mean, they weren't worried about making money or charging people for autographs or anything. They were just hanging out with people.
Yeah,
but
I've met a lot of people like that. There are good people in Hollywood, believe it or not. But there are assholes, and when there are assholes like this, they should be called out for it, because of you and me buying tickets, buying the memorabilia, buying the DVDs, or whatever it is, and going to cons and paying them. That's why they have money, okay? Because of us. So when they treat us like shit, why should we give them money? I'm not giving them my money, and I will never, ever stand in line again to get an autograph from this person. And this person's proved to me I didn't even think twice about it. But when I saw this pop up this morning, this article, when I saw this, I was like, I got to talk about my experience, because I'd already told Bruce before and a few of my friends, because someone I talked to about what a dick he was. I couldn't believe that he would be such an asshole, because when the people around me were talking about it, I said, well, if they come to me and ask to see my phone, I'm going to say, get a lawyer, because there's no freaking way I'm going to let them touch my phone. And it's wide open. It's a wide open place. And I took that video. I wasn't specifically looking for anything, but I wanted a view of what I was at. I wanted to remember that I was there, and people are going to take pictures.
Right.
That's what con is all about. And then this guy is being such a douche. He's going to chase people down because he saw them take a picture. What about all the other 100 people that he didn't see because he had his head down or whatever? So they don't get prosecuted by him or by his security because he didn't see them. But this couple that did take a picture, he saw them. So he's going to say, fuck them, take it off your phone. That's bullshit. I just think this guy's scum. Sorry. But here,
that's just being a dick, And I mean, I've been to a Comic-Con before, because they had one in Cleveland, and I covered it when I was writing on a regular basis for Bounding. I went to the one in Cleveland, and I was on site, corresponding from there. And I went to some of the panels and stuff, and you know, but the thing was, you know, I didn't encounter any celebrities that were jerks there. You know, I mean, they seemed like pretty cool. The ones that were there, I forget who all was there. There was a couple wrestlers and there were some other people, but you know,
This is the
everybody
only
was,
time I've ever had a bad experience.
yeah, everybody was nice. You know, and I took plenty of pictures, and nobody said boo to me. You know.
Mhm. But what was so cool is I stood in line to get to see William Shatner, which I was very excited about. And I'm waiting my turn. And so was everyone else. Everyone was so nice and courteous and waiting their turn, being patient, you know, and all excited, holding their treasures in their hand, waiting to be able to get this person to either take their picture, autograph something, or whatever it was. Well, I get up there and he's looking down, you know, writing on this other person's book. And when he looked up at me, he went, "Wow, you went all out," because I was dressed as an Endorian. I had blue skin, white hair, and little antenna, whatever. And I was so excited when he looked at me and he spoke to me. I felt like I was the only person on the whole planet. It was so weird. But I was mesmerized by him, and he was super nice to me. And he said, "What color do you want me to use?" Because I had black and silver, and I didn't even know what to say. I just said, "Whatever you have in your hand is fine." So he wrote his name, and then he said, "Thank you for coming." And I said, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." And I was like speechless almost, believe that or not. But
Yeah,
it
that's
was great.
cool.
Great, and he was super nice. And then the next line I got in was with Christopher Lloyd, and he was super nice too. So I had two great experiences, and then I didn't get the third one because he was a dick to someone else, but I was there to witness it, so I did give him my money. So oh well, his name's not meant to be in my thing, but I want to share this with everybody. This is his response. It says, for criticisms of his recent Star Trek shows. It says, Star Trek veteran Jonathan Frakes reacts to some of the mixed responses some of his more recent projects have garnered from fans and critics. So they're talking about, I guess, his acting ability or something like that. It wasn't to do with Star Trek, but or a con or whatever. But the thing is that this person is going to bitch and moan because you don't like his show. And but he can treat you like shit at a con, and you're not allowed to say anything. So to me, I just wanted people to see that because it just sparked me. It got a fire lit under my ass. It pissed me off so bad because if it wasn't for us, they'd have no career, you know?
No, well, you know,
It's wrong.
it boils down to, Janet, you know, and you and I had this conversation about certain things happening in my life the last time we talked in depth, and
Yeah.
you know, I have a different attitude now about, you know, people, like a lot of like to do like rich people that have that arrogant attitude, like, you know, they're better than everybody else because, you know, they have wealth or they have status or whatever, you know. And a lot of these celebrities, a lot of these Hollywood people carry around that attitude, and it's a shame because, you know, they look at you almost like lesser, like, oh, I'll just take your money, even though, you know, I have, you know, I'm very comfortable and have more money than you have by probably about 10 times, but I'll take your hard earned money because, you know, I can just scribble my name on a piece of paper and here you go. And, you know, you can give me $50 for it. I mean, it's just the entitlement that they have.
Yeah, but this all here too, it goes back towards what's going on with Maui and the whole fiasco that happened with the Rock and Oprah Winfrey, who tried to raise money, saying it's for the people. But supposedly, from what I could tell, there was this one girl that was talking about it. She was doing a video, and she said that they were having a fundraiser or whatever, but they weren't raising very much money. You know, that very people were giving money, and when every so often it would be like anonymous, and it would be $100, and there was
well, it's too bad that they're like
them
avid.
paying for it themselves, so to look like more people were giving money. I don't know.
it's too bad. It's
Ladies,
too bad that they're like,
$1,500 for Maui today.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's too bad that they're like actually avid globalists and support the depopulation agenda. So, I mean, I have no respect for those people. I have no respect
Yeah,
for those
and
people.
the fact that Oprah was like basically handing kids over to certain pedophiles that are now in prison
Mhm.
for certain things. So anything that she has anything to do with it, I'm not interested. Oh, hi, Tobat. I see him. He's in the chat. I just so thank you for showing up. But yeah, I'm tired. I'm tired of us bowing to these people. I mean, I don't think we
Mhm.
should. There's other places we can go and spend our money and be treated decently. I mean, I've met lots of stars. Ryan Reynolds, I worked on a set with him when we worked on, I'm not going to say the name of the movie, but the movie that I was on, I got to work on a set with him. And we were up a level and you could look down. It was an open side and it was glass, fencing. And here comes the Sunshine Kids. This is down in New Orleans. And there's some nuns and a whole bunch of little kids, little bald kids come walking in. And what does he do? He walks down there with them. He goes down with him. It's down there at least 35, 40 minutes, taking pictures, signing autographs. And everybody else just stood and waited for him.
Mhm.
But the thing is, he did it. He didn't have to do it. He could have said, oh, no big deal. I'm not going to say a few other names that would do that, would say, oh, well, too bad. Wouldn't even sign autographs for small kids. Is another actor that everybody seems to love, but he wouldn't. So I'm just saying there's a lot of conservative that say they're conservative, or act like they're conservative people that are in Hollywood, and they're assholes. So
Well, they're just, and it's
on
the
both
same way.
sides.
It's the same way, Janet, period, with like I said, a lot of those to do people that are entitled and have made a lot of millions and things like that, they think they can do no wrong. They think because they have money that, they're on a notch above everybody, and they forget, hey, listen, at the end of the day, we all bleed red and we're all human beings, but they consider themselves, higher because of their status and their money,
Mhm.
and it's all wrong. But what's funny about that is, like, even the sports conventions are the same way. You get these athletes that go, and a lot of them are prima donnas, and they'll just sit there and they charge ridiculous money for autographs, and they're not even, some of them aren't even superstar athletes.
Mm-hmm. Because they don't have to be anymore,
Hmm.
right? They don't have to be. I mean, if you can make more money sitting on the bench and selling Nike tennis shoes or jerseys and stuff like that, and be in a couple commercials and be able to get whatever, then why would you have to risk getting a concussion or
Hmm.
breaking your arm? You know what I mean? So, and whose fault is that? It's ours. But
Yeah.
it made me feel good. The whole thing we talked about before on the show is about the whole Bud Light mess fiasco. But to see the tent at Sturgis empty,
Hmm.
that chalked that one up for Americans. Okay. It was American people that said, hell no, I ain't spending my money on your product. And if more of us would do that, put our wallet where our mouth is basically and say, we're not going to spend any more money on these people. If you stop giving them money, your time and your effort, guess what? They're going to stop doing some of this shit. Stop buying video games, stop going to movies, stop watching TV shows, stop buying their t-shirts and all their shit. And guess what? They'll stop doing it because they're not going to make any money. And that's our way of being able to do something about it. But Ruben, would you like to bring up the 3 men charged in the Whitmer Fed kidnapping case? Do you want to bring that up on the screen and we can talk about it? I think it's in the private chat.
I don't have anything in the private chat.
Oh, you don't have anything in it? Okay, hold on. Let me get it and I'll put it in the private chat and then you can share it.
Sorry about
just
that.
Going to pull up just the link. That's what I did a while ago is I copied what I wrote it was for. And I also put down the link. So that's why I was trying to open it. It wouldn't open because it was not just the link. It was other stuff. So.
No problem.
But hey, I'm doing so good. I'm so proud of myself. If it hadn't been for Bruce, I'd still be crying trying to figure out how to do it by myself. So I think that's it. So if you can get that, it'll be the article. But I was really, I haven't really watched this whole thing very much. Have you guys paid that much attention to this whole kidnapping case?
No.
So,
but no. Well, I know what happened, and I know it's a big joke because it was all like a inside.
Because wasn't it during January 6th? Supposedly stemming from that they wanted to kidnap her because of whatever.
Correct.
This was after. But this was after. This was just all a setup. It was, when they were trying to like sit there and say, "Oh, there's domestic terrorists all over the place," and they were trying to paint people, trying to basically invent domestic terrorist incident by
but the thing is, how much money do these people have to spend to go to court, these families of these three men, when it was all fake? See, that's what I'm trying to say. This whole thing, everything that these people are doing to all these people for January 6th should be misdemeanors and stuff, but now they're trying to put them in prison for life. 16 years or whatever for something that they did during the what was it, the one judge that was for Supreme Court,
Brett Kavanaugh.
I can't remember his name. One of the man judge they just got in, Kavanaugh. When all those people were in there, and none of them got arrested.
Nope.
So what's the difference between that and these J6ers? What's the difference between what they were doing?
One's about real freedom, one's not about anything.
See, it's all of this is just ridiculous to me. But I'm thankful to this jury that freed these people, or give these, watch this video. This is very moving, I think.
Yeah. Okay, everyone can be seated. Juror number 4, are you the fourth? Okay, you can stay seated for 1 second, ma'am, just so that you're aware. The order that I've let the clerk's office know that we're going to receive the verdicts in is the order in which the defendants have been sitting around the table. So William Null will be first, Michael Null will be second, and Eric Molitor will be third. Okay, would the foreperson please rise? And would the defendants and their counsel please rise?
Yes, Your Honor.
Madam Clerk, if you would please receive, or I'm sorry, Madam Foreperson, I should confirm, we did get a note indicating that verdicts have been reached. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Are they unanimous verdicts?
Yes, sir.
Are they unanimous verdicts as to each count for each defendant?
Yes, sir.
Madam Clerk, if you would please receive the verdicts.
Members of the jury, have you reached your verdict?
Yes.
And as to William Null, count 1, providing material support for an act of terrorism, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
For William Null, count 2, possession of a firearm at the time of the commission or attempted commission of a felony, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
As to defendant Michael Null, count 1, providing material support for an act of terrorism, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
For Michael Null, count 2, possession of a firearm at time of commission or attempted commission of a felony, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
As to Eric Molitor, count 1, providing material support for an act of terrorism, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
For Eric Molitor, count 2, possession of a firearm at time of commission or attempted commission of a felony, what is your verdict?
Not guilty.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, ladies and gentlemen, as I described for you, there will be.
Wow, that was crazy.
Yeah, but the thing is that, see, we can get justice. It's sad that they lost so much time in their lives and from their families and so much money to have to defend themselves from our government. Okay, just think about that, people. That's what I'm talking about. This is what I've been talking about. When you can put someone in office that can treat people like he's a king and that he has final say and can do and say whatever he wants, and we have a media that can say and do whatever they want to anyone, whether it's true or lies, okay? And if it is lies, and we have proof that it's lies, but we can't prosecute the media because of the Smith-Mundt Act that Obama signed into law. So just think about that for a minute, because it was those three gentlemen, right? But it could be you, could be me. They see something on one of our videos, or they see a post on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or X, whatever it's called. And then they say, well, we hate that person. We don't want them to have the right to say that. Whether
Well,
it's
they want to invent. They invent domestic terrorists to support the idea
Yes.
that there's domestic terrorists all over the place.
I
It's the
know.
same thing. It's the same thing of why they fake hate crimes and try to invent white supremacists to try to support their reporting and their narrative. And it's all like psychological conditioning for society. That's what they're trying to do.
And
You
it's
know,
working.
It's
working. All you got to do is look around and see how many people are walking
Right.
around wearing a mask. What? And
build-
people driving in their car wearing a
Right.
mask by themselves.
right. You
So it's
gaslight
working.
you gaslight people and build a false reality, and pretty soon they believe it, because what you're doing is warping their perception of what's real and what isn't.
Yep. It's
So
real
that's
to them.
so that's exactly what they do. That's why society's in the shape it is. All this psychological conditioning, all these psyops.
I know it's scary. It's
Very scary.
I just don't know. I mean, I was talking about this the other day in a space, and I was like, how are we ever going to recover? We're billions and billions and trillions of dollars in debt. I mean, think about it. Our great grandkids are in debt, and they're not even conceived yet. Okay. How are we ever going to pay this money back? How are we ever going to, we can't even take care of our veterans. We can't take care of the people that have paid in their whole life to Social Security, because we're handing the money over in barrels to Ukraine and to all these millions of people that are walking over the border. Okay. And they're telling you, get your damn shot, or you're not going to be able to have a job or buy food or live here or do this. But they're letting millions of people walk over a border that haven't had one vaccination their whole life. They have diphtheria. They have whooping cough. They have all these diseases that we don't even have anymore because we've been vaccinated. But now they wanted you to have a vaccination that hasn't been tested until the last 2 years. And all the guinea pigs that they've been forcing to jab to keep their jobs or whatever else. And now I just don't know how, even if we get Trump in office, okay, and he has 4 years in, I don't think 4 years is even a drop in the bucket enough time to fix all the shit that's happened in just the last 2.5 years.
Well, there's another problem too. You got to remember, like, and I can speak on this from personal experience. Like, there's a lot of people that are like, "Oh, there isn't a housing crisis." Well, guess what? Newsflash: there is a housing crisis, because, look, there was a TikTok I saw where this woman was talking about, now it's at the point where BlackRock and Vanguard own literally 88% of just about everything in the fucking world. So, it makes sense when I'm sitting there applying for these apartments, the ridiculous hoops that you have to jump through, from the application fee to the background check to, you have to have, some places are like, you have to have a certain debt to income ratio. You have to have, this and this. It's ridiculous what they do, the lengths they go to to try to get tenants. And and it's so exclusive anymore that it's so hard to get into any of these places, especially on short notice. And it's hard. That's why there's such a homeless crisis, because these apartments, it's like finding a unicorn now to find a private landlord. They're all owned and run by small companies that, if you go up the ladder and find out what
Not a small
subsidiary,
company. There's a company
right,
that owns a small company, and there's another company that owns that small company.
exactly, Bruce.
Small company, and then there's a fucking guy in Australia that has a brother on K Street, and he is letting the brother make money on it, but it's owned by some jackass on K Street who's ran around by BlackRock with their fist in his ass.
Mm-hmm.
I know.
Dude,
Yeah,
I
and
looked at a house.
yeah,
I looked at a house for $170,000. It was 300 square foot.
yep,
To get fucked.
yep, and that's how they do it. It's crazy. And like I said, especially the rental market right now is a shit show. It's just absolutely nuts trying to get in a rental right now.
Yeah, I remember after Katrina, okay, and they brought in all these companies or whatever to rebuild right down in the quarter, and they had to, go in and gut these buildings because they were flooded. They were flooded, and they didn't want to take the structures down, so they just took out all the sheetrock and all the old wood, and blah 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 blah, and a few windows that were broken, things like that, trying to fix it the best they could. But the sad fact is you had lots of these families that own some of these. They're called shotguns, okay? Because you open the door and it goes straight back. It's it's slim. It's not like a square building down the corner. They're real long and skinny. So basically you have a door that goes down straight through the middle, and you have rooms to the side, or the doorway goes right through the middle of the room. I mean, that's how they built things back for some reason. I'm not that good about architecture and stuff, but that's what they look like. Well, when people applied, and some of these people were like 5-6 generations of own this building, okay, and they just rent the top out, make apartments up there or whatever, and then they have like little boutiques or whatever down below in the quarter. Well, then they're told they have to have original glass in the windows from when the building was built and stuff like that. How is a person that just makes measly amount of money, okay, they're not rich, these are just normal people that have regular jobs, or this is their job, is running this little boutique or renting out a room up above to pay their bills and their taxes and stuff like that? How are they supposed to afford, $5,000 for this pane of glass? Because they have to be original glass that they're saying has to be original, instead of something that looks close to original. You know what I mean? To keep it, I don't know, to try to keep it to the historical society or whatever it is. So basically, they end up having to sell. They all had, almost half of them had to sell the building that was in their family for so many years because they couldn't afford to fix it. Because legally they wouldn't be qualified to fix it. So it'd be an empty building and them still paying taxes on it, not earning any money off of it. See, that was their way of getting the city being taken out from underneath their the owners, basically. Just like what I think might be happening in Hawaii. I'm not 100%, but it sure seems like a lot of these people, these liberal side people, seem to find ways to take away people's property that they've owned for generations, many generations, because they know a legal way around taking it away from them. And that's basically what happened. And all the people they bust out to Houston and all the other cities in different states that didn't have a lot of money, that did live down there, guess what? When they came back, some of them would come back, they couldn't afford to live there anymore, because now it's triple what they were paying for rent. See, so guess what? They cleaned out the city of the people that were poor or poorer that couldn't afford to live there. So what happens when that happens? Like you have waitresses and you have maids in the hotels and things like that. Well, if they're not making enough money, they can't live there. So they have to move out. They have to leave. So who's going to fulfill all these jobs when nobody's making enough money to be able to afford to live there? The same thing what you're seeing in Florida, right? You got to have Bartistas, you got to have pool people, you have to have all this different stuff.
Mhm.
And what, you got to pay everybody $25 an hour just so you can run this hotel, with this, that, and the other. And then now the rooms are, instead of $100 a night, they're $200 a night. So who can you afford $200 a night on your vacation? Or are you going to go down the street and try to find a cheaper hotel? I mean, I can't afford $200 a night, and I don't think I'm poor, but I'm not rich. So, I just don't see the end of this. I don't see how we're supposed to be able to quell and bring things down to where it's accessible to the people like it was supposed to be. Don't people deserve to be able to afford to feed their families and have a place to live, a decent place? I'm not talking about a rat hole infested gutter place that costs you, $1,200 a month. It's I don't understand it. I just don't see how 4 years, once we get someone in there, which is 2024 is the election, but then they're not going to be sworn in until 2025, right?
But for me, it's not Trump is just a proxy for us. That's all he really is. It's
us. We have to do something.
That's why.
That's what I'm trying to say.
At every level, and not just the president, but and not just every 2 years, and not just we have to be involved at the city
all
level
the time.
All the time. That's what you have to do if you want, and then that's a thing. That's why I'm looking for a city to go and then be part of the community, and that way I can give back as I needed to do. That's the thing, because right now it's like I don't know, we're not that we're apathetic, but I remember my entire life I would just work and do my thing, and then when I got sick and then when everything's gone, it's like now what? And it's like, okay, now it's time to live and have a home. So that's why I'm searching, so I can do these things, because that's what it is. It's not just, and it's no longer about Trump. It's about the uniparty versus the people, and it's like it is but it's terrifying when you turn a TV on and everything seems so inauthentic.
Yeah, it is.
It's a clown show. It's like we're watching like government television. And it's like living in freaking. It's weird. It is. It's
scary. It's scary because I can see, I'm not even really smart. I tell people all the time, I didn't do really well in school. I had to really work hard to make C pluses and Bs. Okay. I wasn't one of those kids that could always get straight A's. I wish I could have, but I really tried hard. I just had a hard time, I guess, with my comprehension part or something. Now, some things I'm really smart at, like I was really good in history, and I loved science. Science was I made A's in science because I was good at it. But when it came to math and some of the other stuff, I was like, I sucked. But I tried, and I finally did graduate and everything like a normal person. But I look around and I see other people that are supposedly way smarter than me because they have college degrees or whatever else. And I watch some of the things they do, and I'm like, how does this person have a degree? How is this person a teacher?
It's because
and is able to teach kids.
Because money, the dollar is their god, and they did anything for a dollar. So it's basically they hoard themselves out for money. Basically, what they've done. That's what they do. No, I'm serious. That's a thing. And the thing is that the government knows this. I believe you. The government knows this too. Because again, the whole idea of having an influencer, we think it's a new thing. No, it's been going on since time immemorial. And again, and you had the rise of the who was it? The fact that TV came was a correlation of media, politics, everything. So you pay the salaries because again, it's the idiot box. It's turn the TV on, watch the revenue, consume. Don't bitch and moan that some actor makes $20 million a year. You went to go see their
Mhm.
movie, and well, they're a good actor. Well, then yeah, they're a good actor. But again, are they really worth 20 million? Are not. Or again, if somebody thinks they're worth a lot of money and maybe produce bomb after bomb after bomb after bomb, it's not because we're racist. We have some quality. We enjoy things. That's what we have to do. We have to get involved. Back into culture completely.
I'm sharing a meme on my screen, Janet.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it up right now.
Check on your friends. Some of them may need help welding.
To get ready for the end, or when we take back our country.
And
Yeah,
teach your kids. Teach your kids the legacy of Marvin Hemar.
Yeah, I gotta find a place to go. I don't know where to go. Reddit or whatever. I don't want to talk to anybody that's going to be like a kook or anything weirdo. Just trying to find a place.
So, okay, Bruce, are you ready to bring up a couple of the things that you were wanting to talk about?
What do you want to? What would your selection be?
Whichever one you want. I've already talked about everything that I wanted to, for sure.
Drew, if you're somewhere out there, we miss you, bud. We want you back. Yeah. I want you to be a functional.
He might have had to go to the bathroom or something.
I want to be a functional human being. I was going to tell you about a trucking job in Columbus.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one over in Springfield, Missouri. But I get it. You got to go. We want you. We want you whole, buddy.
Yes, that's what I want. I definitely want that. But he's got to want it. We have to want it.
Exactly.
And we have to work for it. It's not always easy, but it's like I always say, I'm lucky because I had a great mom and I have 4 wonderful sisters. We may not talk every single day, but we have sister chat and we talk to each other in that, and we share, information and things that's going on with all of us. And so I have a really good support. You know what I mean? So I'm lucky. And maybe that's one reason why I try to help other people more. It's because I feel like, because I'm lucky enough to have it, that I want other people to have it. I don't know. But you want me ready for me to add it?
Whenever you like. I'm getting to that portion of my Discord right now. And it's mid-September. The G20 just agreed to this. This is a scary. European Commission chief reemphasizes the need for digital identification. At the G20 summit, European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen called for an international regulatory body for artificial intelligence, digital ID systems similar to coronavirus vaccine passports, and advocated for global cooperation to address the challenges presented by AI. She called for the United Nations to have a role in AI regulation and called the European Union's COVID-19 digital certificate a perfect model for digital public infrastructures, which would include digital IDs. Many of you are familiar with the COVID-19 digital certificate. The European Union developed it for itself. The model was so functional and so trusted that 51 countries on 4 continents adopted it for free, said President von der Leyen.
That's the dumbest sentence in my life.
We're going to have, we'll get Kamala out here later to hold the bear. Today, the WHO uses it as a global standard to facilitate mobility in times of health threats. I'd like to thank Dr. Tedros again for the excellent cooperation, she said, referring to the World Health Organization. Doesn't that just fill you with like bile in your mouth?
Lie.
Okay. And then there is this lady, this thing, the UN Undersecretary General for Global Communications, Melissa Fleming, blames Twitter, X, for the spread of dangerous misinformation. And I'm not going to go to that link because I fucking hate X. Okay.
Yep.
And I mean, I really can't stand X. Like everybody talks about X, and I'm just like, I wouldn't fucking use
Well, I
X if
talk
it had-
about it a lot, I know, but I use it as a tool. Okay.
Well, I
It's not
I just
something
don't
I'm
fucking-
doing because I feel like I just have to have it. I'm using it as a tool to help me spread information. And I also have a really good network because I use it for my prepping people. I use it for my politics stuff. I use it for medical information. The whole thing I was talking about with the child, things that I'm involved in. I use it for like 7 or 8 different reasons. And yes, I do socialize on it some, and I use it to promote my channels. So I'm using it for lots of different reasons. But guess what? I'm here right now doing this. So I'm not on it all the time. But I do know that there's people on there that are on there. It seems like I go to bed at night at 10:30. I wake up at 4:30, and I check my messages and stuff on there. And some of those people are still in the space.
I
They
like
never go to bed.
there's one account that's pretty much universal, and that
Mhm.
is Cat Turd. Cat
Oh,
Turd
yeah.
is the most information that I need throughout my day. Diddle up off of MSN.com. Biden planning speech on threats to democracy in coming weeks. Sources say. Story by Arlette Sains and Kevin Liptak. CNN one day ago. Resident Joe Biden plans to deliver a speech focused on threats to democracy in the coming weeks, according to 2 sources familiar with the plans. Democratic donors gathered in Chicago for a fundraising retreat learned of the plans Wednesday, a source familiar with remarks said. Biden plans to deliver the speech following the second Republican primary debate, which is scheduled for September 27, according to the sources. One venue under consideration for the speech is a McCain Institute. Sorry, I hawk up bullshit. I'm sorry. A source familiar with the discussion said, "Burn in hell, you little troll." A major focus of Biden's 2020 campaign was preserving democracy, mob rule, and he has continued discussing the issue during his residency.
Mhm.
Biden previously delivered speeches in front of a red and black themed curtain set and a bunch of U.S. Marines, delivered speeches on the threat to democracy at Independence Hall in Philadelphia and in Washington. But he hasn't delivered an address because his meds will not let him focus for more than 3 minutes at a time. Focused on the issue since former President Donald Trump was indicted on charges related to his attempts to cling to power following the 2020 mis-election. The White House.
That's biggest. That's a lie.
The White House, the place where former presidents would reside, declined to comment on the forthcoming speech, which was first reported by the New York Times.
This is a
We
lie.
are
Oh my
in
God.
up. We're
Crazy
going
world.
to be up to our eyeballs in bullshit between KJP and President Joe Biden. He is.
No,
I love my
it's
friend
everything.
Tom.
It's everything now. That's a thing. That's sorry to interrupt you, but I'm just saying what we're doing here now is it's Gladiator. It's a Gladiator game. It's Biden Trump. That's the distraction. It's the deep. It's a whole thing's corroded. It's a whole thing.
Well, you know what the
corrupt.
problem is, right? The problem is that we have a former president of the United States that I'm not proud of at all, who elected to stay in the city of Washington, D.C. after his 8
Yes.
years were over. And he kept all of his little buddies in Washington, D.C., and he's acting like a shadow government.
As he said in the video,
Yes.
that if I
he
could run
stated-
for another term, I would just, I just sit in the background and I'll just, direct everything in the background. He said that. It's a video.
Yep.
And he's there now.
And-
it's happening.
Yeah. Tree Rock Creation says, when did Biden ever deliver a speech? He goes up script too often. Stay on target. Yeah. Former Vice President Biden. Yeah, that's all he ever was. He's never been an actual president. He has been sworn in illicitly, but
Yes.
he is not the president, nor has he ever been coherent with anything in the last 3 years.
And the thing is, it's like the shooting him up with adrenaline isn't working anymore. He's lasting maybe 5 minutes before he starts going, whoa, whatever. So, they're about to give him the 25th. So
I love it. I love how we are seeing
the 25th
it come
or the
apart.
24th. Yeah.
25th.
I really think that if we were to be able to just alter his medication plan for the day, and instead of him receiving his entire battery of medications, which he is supposed to be under, he received none of them. I want to see this man shitting himself, unable to remember
already doing
his name, unable to.
He's already doing that.
He's already doing that, but I want it cranked up to 11. I want to make sure that you fuckers, and I mean everyone alive right now and people alive in the future, never fucking forget that this is Joe fucking Biden. He is a human fuck up.
Well, honestly, all you have to do is drive to any gas station or to any store or anything, and you know it's Joe Biden, because the prices, you can't afford to do anything. You can't afford to buy gas, food, or anything. I mean, I went grocery shopping for just 3 people. Okay,
What are
3 people, and it's outrageous.
Do you think they're going to try 1963?
Think what?
1963.
Yes.
On him.
That would be wonderful.
Because, because again, they want the rallying cry.
But they have to take out Kamala with this special bullet. So it has to be the perfect lined up shot where you got her lined up right behind him. She's just a casualty from
they're never going to be together. You're never going to see these two together again. These two are never going to be in the same thing. They took her to the 9/11 stuff. You're going to start seeing her doing more and more and more stuff, presidential stuff, because she's next in line. And as soon as she steps up to the plate and she's our president, and they're all praising that they got the first woman president, even though she wasn't elected. And look, this woman got less people behind her when she went to first run in the first place. Remember, she was the lowest one. She got nothing. Nobody wanted this person. Okay, her knees are scarred up from being on her knees so much to get where she is. Okay, and she couldn't blow enough people to even get 1% behind her to want her as president. Okay, but guess what? She's gonna be in the White House. They're about to give him the 25th Amendment. She's gonna be our president, and we're gonna have McCarthy as our VP. That's the secession. That's the way it's gonna. That's how it's gonna line up.
Disagree. We are going to see.
I know, but I'm telling you, I got it on video, so we'll see what's going to happen.
We're going to see the greatest switcheroo that they could ever try to do with the Potomac two-step. They're going to pull out Ketanji Brown Smith because she's the worst Supreme Court justice they've ever put in place. And nobody has forgotten that she can't identify what a vagina is on a woman. So they're going to yank her out. They're going to throw a brown person, knee-scuffed fucking Kamala Harris in the fucking Supreme Court, giving her a lifetime opportunity to alter and molest United States law. Then they're going to take Karen Bass out of Los Angeles and immediately put her forth, because we can put her forward. She's black, she's a lady, and she actually has ambition. Unlike Michelle Obama, who absolutely does not want to be on stage showing her dick fluttering in the breeze with a dress. Okay, she can't handle that. Too many people remember Joan Rivers. People remember what Joan Rivers said before her assassination. So
I know, I played it last week.
Yeah, wonderful. And then
Yeah.
you've got Bass, which is going to be brought in as a Veep, and they're going to swap out Joe somehow. But I don't see him stepping down. I see they're going to offer Joe a real good sweetheart deal because his son is not going to get off anything that is given to rabid Republicans, which are going to tear this up like it's a wolf pack taking down an elderly bison. And they're going to rip up Hunter Biden politically. They're going to drag in Joe, and Joe's going to step in. Hunter's a good boy. He did no wrong. Blah, blah, blah. And then he's going to like fuck up a pin stroke, and his son will be given a get out of jail free card. And then they'll be like, all right, Joe, you got your son. You guys are good. You're not going to ever suffer any consequences. Why don't you retire? I'm never going to retire. I'm never going to. And then they're going to shoot him. And that I think is how that's going to work. I don't see anything else happening. I see us getting our first woman president inadvertently after the Joe Biden assassination attempt because I can't see him surviving. He's going to be obstinate and not step down gracefully. He's going to be a complete and utter.
It won't matter because he doesn't know who he is. I mean, it doesn't matter what he can't do anything for himself. Okay, this guy has to be shuffled from one place to another. He can barely even walk.
You know what it reminds me of?
He can't go to the bathroom by himself. This guy cannot feed himself. He can't do anything. Okay, this guy should be in a nursing home. Okay, I say that, and his wife should be arrested for elder abuse. Okay, It's sad. I don't feel sorry for him because he's a horrible person. He's been a horrible person for a very, very long time. And but what they're doing to our country is a disgrace to have this person in the White House. And even if Kamala steps up, and when she does, I mean, the same person that's in charge pushing all the buttons and pulling all the levers right now is still going to be in charge. Yes. Because she's just an airhead walking around going, whatever, because she's just an idiot. I mean, the only thing she can do is probably give a good blowjob. That's all I know of. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm smarter than her. I think better than she could.
Kamala has aged more in the last 2 weeks in her 60s than Dick Clark did in his 90s.
I don't know. This is terrible.
She has gotten some wrinkles on her because they are putting her out in front, trying to get people to take focus off Hunter. Stop looking at Joe. Stop looking at Hunter. Stop. Hey, look. Here's a shiny thing. Here's Kamala Harris. Look at her. Love her. She's going to be your next president.
Honestly, I won't be surprised or shocked if we see on national TV a giant spaceship land right in front of the White House and take Biden and put it in him and fly off. I mean, I swear, it wouldn't shock me in the least. That's where we are right now. We are in bizarre.
The little ETs in Mexico come, little guys.
You know what I mean?
Little ET guys.
All of this shit is just. It's like we're watching.
It's stupid.
It's the Truman Show. You know, it's like the Truman Show is real and it's happening right now, and we're all living in it. We're all in it. Every one of us. We're in a snow globe that's being shaken and it's sitting down, and someone's watching us all. I don't know what it is. It's just shocking. And I hope that we can make it through it. That's all I can say. Is I don't see how we can fix this mess. I don't see how we're ever going to get out of debt. There's no way we could work for 100 years and never pay back the trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt that we are.
Right.
You know, I just don't see how we're going to fix it. I just don't see it. I want to see it. I would like to have somebody come up and explain to me how we're going to be able to do it. But I just right now, even with the longest binoculars in the world, I can't see an ending to it.
Well, I see an ending to it, but it's going to be a few generations, and it's going to involve some ugly things.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly feel that once we get order restored, and that means there's going to be chaos for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Once we get order restored, I think we're going to be able to actually have a brighter modern era than what we experienced in 2019. I really do. I think I don't want to think that this is the final fucking crest before the giant plummet into Armageddon. I really don't want to think that. I'm thinking that things have got to get better from here, because this is it causes me a negative conversation with my parents on a daily basis, and like I think they're sick and tired of me hearing like, I can't wait for him to hit room temperature. I cannot wait for the puppet master Obama to hit room temperature. I can't
Here's
wait.
the question.
Okay, nerdy ogre. My bet for Democrat nominee in 2024, I think they're pulling Biden out. I think they're going to, one way or another, they're going to remove him. But I don't think they can run with Governor Newsom. Governor Newsom is far too polarizing, and even though he can pull quite a bit of numbers and fraud, he is not a guaranteed sell. And even more importantly, he's not completely going to open his asshole and let himself be puppeteered by whoever is in control. So he's out. I think they're going to have somebody smaller than Governor Newsom come in and do it. Somebody who is just a go team go sort of person. Oh yeah, you can use my asshole. I'll be your mouthpiece. Let me be your mouthpiece, please. And that's not Gov Newsom. Newsom has got too much pride and narcissism in this. I mean, look at that 12-inch part in his hair. That guy is begging. He's begging to be on a fucking calendar. Like he like Mitt Romney, like looks like your average non-offensive white guy you see in the photos for the frames at Walmart.
Can I say one thing about what you're saying? Is I agree with you on a lot of that, but honestly, what's the biggest thing in politics in the United States of America?
Medicine.
For a political career. There's only two jobs that anyone that enters politics would want to end up as. Yeah. On the Supreme Court or President of the United States. And I'm telling you right now, Gavin Newsom will suck anybody's cock, I don't care who it is, to be President of the United States. And he'd do it. He'd bend over and take it up the ass every day if he could be president. So he would do it.
I see him as a narcissist. I really see him as a.
He should be Obama's bitch.
Say again.
I mean, it may sound bad coming from me, but I'm telling you,
then he will have an affair with Obama.
I think that's who's going to be on the ticket. That's who I believe. Obama? No, Gavin Newsom.
Gavin Newsom. I think it's more Karen Bass. Karen Bass is more marketable. She's more willing to. She's the mayor of LA.
Yeah, I just don't think it's, she might be VP. She might be VP with Gavin Newsom. That'd be a ticket. And I think that's a big one. That's a powerhouse. That's a powerhouse ticket.
Yeah, they can't do that. Yeah.
Oh, because they're from the same spot?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, she's the governor of the largest city in California, and she's the mayor of the
mayor. Yeah.
He's the fucking gov. So they could probably
Oprah and Big Mike.
They could probably pull like.
There you go.
If they put Karen Bass out front, they could probably run some guy that's absolutely like the best insurance possible for Veep, and that would be Tim Kaine. Tim Kaine can be brought back in his 70s. He'll do it for 4 years. Tim Kaine.
Because I've heard rumors that Hillary might do it.
No.
And a few things, but I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be Michelle Obama. I really don't. I know Hillary. I'm almost 100% Hillary won't be in it. She barely survived what happened to her with the whole Trump fiasco. The woman was pretty much in a coma every day, was taking so many pills just to survive because she was about to blow a gasket at every event that she went to. They couldn't give her enough drugs to calm her down unless they wanted to drag her around or put her in a wheelbarrow and drag her around. That was basically what was going to happen. But I don't think Michael Obama is going to run. I really don't. But I really do think it's going to be we're gonna have our president, our woman president, which is gonna be the woman we have right now, which is Camilla. I think it's gonna be her, and then they're gonna bring in our whatever his name is now, our Speaker of the House as a VP. That's the session. That's how that's going to go, because it goes from the vice president is the Speaker of the House, and then you got President pro tempore of the Senate, the Secretary of State, the Secretary of the Treasury, Secretary of Defense, Attorney General, Secretary of the Interior, Secretary of Agriculture, Secretary of Commerce, Secretary of Labor, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, Secretary of Transportation, Secretary of Energy, Education, Veterans Affairs, and Homeland Security. That's the order.
That's supposed to go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I don't see Kevin McCarthy getting in there, because he might be the House Speaker right now, but I think the next election is going to flip it back to the Dems.
Yeah, but it's going to be in the next couple months. Before the end of this year, before December, Biden is going to be bye-bye. Okay, this is what I'm saying. This is my point of view. This is all I'm saying, is this is what I think is going to happen before the end of this year. Biden is going to be 25th, gone. Or whatever means they have to have. He's going to get COVID or whatever. I don't know what's going to happen to him, but he's not going to be there. And then she's going to step in, because they're already propping her up. They're sending her out to make her look more presidential, trying to make her look like she can actually walk and talk and chew gum at the same time. Okay, which is, better than what I can do at most of the things. And then we're going to have a Speaker of the House step in as VP. And then each of them are going to progress the way they're supposed to, for the way that our progression is set up. And then the Congress and Senate will start making decisions on who's going to take what places to fill in the gaps because of what's going to happen. But it's going to be before the end of this year. And then next year, they're going to run Gavin Newsom, Trudeau of the United States.
I don't see Gavin getting into it.
We'll see.
I've been wrong before, but Gavin,
No, so have I. I've been wrong many times, but boy, I'm telling you, everything. When I was saying at the beginning of last year that they were going to indict Trump, because a person told me they were going to indict Trump, and I was like, well, we'll see. But I think he's right. And then they also told me that DeSantis was going to run. And I was telling everybody, DeSantis is going to run for president. No, he's not going to do it. He's not going to do it. Well, that's two so far. And the third thing is this, exactly what I'm saying, that Biden's going to get chucked under the bus before the end of this year. And we're going to have Camilla, because that's going to be a notch in the belt of the left. They're the first woman president. It doesn't matter whether she was elected or not. So we'll see.
I
hope I'm wrong. I really do, but I don't think so.
I can't do anything about it. This is beyond my pay grade, but
it's beyond all of us. That's the sad fact.
That's so sad, because I watched her try to describe life with a yellow school bus, and I thought, this is how far you can get for sucking good dick. I've got a video pulled up, a memory. You guys might have memory hold this.
Okay, oh yeah, this is it. This is what I'm saying. They drugged her up so much she could barely walk, but boy, her gaskets were still wanting to explode because she just wanted to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Look at her.
Yep. Slab of beef.
She didn't have a stroke.
Yep.
From all the drugs they were putting in her to keep her from killing someone. Look at her. She can't even walk. She's like Weekend at Bernie's at Sanders or whatever that it was. Weekend at Bernie's or whatever. Yeah, that's her. Bernie's. Look at her.
Slab of beef. Slab of beef. If I Google slab of beef,
where's the beef? Yeah, where's the beef? Yeah, it was terrible.
I really love that video, by the way.
Trump roast?
No, not Trump. Just watching Hillary getting manhandled.
Oh yeah.
And the other day, the other video I liked of Hillary was on September 12th of 2012. Yeah, I think it was 2012. Because that was the day after Benghazi attack, where they said, "Oh, well, they watched a bad video and they got offended." And then Hillary shows up on television the next day, looking like she had role played as Whitney Houston to Bobby Brown, and he dribbled her down the stairs. I mean, she was black and blue. I'm not a guy that like really enjoys the idea of women beating. Some cunts deserve it, and that is one lady that whenever I saw her looking like fucking Harry Reid after his brother beat the shit out of him.
The thing is, I think she's one of those people that does that to herself.
She said she fell down some stairs the day after.
I know, but I've seen people so angry that they've thrown themselves downstairs, throw themselves into furniture, things like that, because their temper is so bad. And that's what I'm saying. I think that's why they had to keep her drugged up as much as they could, because she has a horrible temper. She's just a horrible, horrible witch. This woman is a witch.
And Joe's atmosphere is correct. Tulsi nuked her on television, first debate, didn't even have a whole percentage point of people behind her. And you almost got to see Kamala Harris cry on national television. I don't know how she did it, but she was like at that verge where she almost broke down in public. It was joy. And
You're talking about Hillary?
No, we're talking about Tulsi Gabbard nuking, absolutely just leaving a blast crater where Kamala Harris was, because Tulsi Gabbard did her homework and just obliterated Kamala Harris on that first debate, and then we never.
Oh yeah, Kamala, she can barely even. She can't do anything basically. This woman, I don't know how she does anything by herself. I mean, nothing.
She does nothing by herself. I'm sure she has somebody come and run her own card at the ATM for her because she can't remember the numbers. I'm serious. Like that, she's good at one thing and one thing only. We all know what that was. Willie Brown.
Well, hey, don't knock it till you try it, I guess. I mean, if I could do that, maybe I would decide to do that. If I could make money and move up in the world to, just
see here. I was
these guys
find a nice oil tycoon.
It's terrible. But I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand how we let it get this bad. I mean, I wish I knew more about it. I wish I paid more attention. I mean, I work the polls and I do all this stuff, but I never at local levels, but I never really dove in too much at the national level.
Yeah, it's a public-private partnership. The idea that again, back in the 1890s, around there, the whole idea leading up to all the kings and queens, have all the information, all the wealth, and then setting up the League of Nations and having it collapse, and then because again they wanted to control the power, so they caused World War I, and the same thing World War II. Then it became the information age, the atomic age. That's what took over, and that's why you have we have nuclear, hundreds of hundreds of thousands of nuclear weapons, but very few nuclear power plants. It's insane. We have more nuclear power out there, and it's crazy. And then the whole idea that the boob tube comes in TV and it takes over America, and then basically it's feeding you toxic information, and it's basically continuing to do that to this day. Everything, it's just feeding you, and that's what I'm saying. That's why when I turn it on, it's just literally a joke.
Yeah.
And or when I'm looking at it, because I go to the gym now, and I purposely take my glasses off because I don't want to, because the TV screens are all up there, and I look at it and going, "What the hell's that?" It's just like weird. I'm not listening to what it says, and when I do catch it, when I watch by a television, I see it. It just looks so phony. It's just so just show. It's just like propaganda. 1984.
Yeah.
Have you read the book? Just kidding.
No, I don't want to. Honestly, I don't want to know the ending. That's why it's one of those books that you keep looking at and you flip through the pages a little, but you don't ever want to see what the ending says. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's bad.
Because I'd read Revelation, and I don't think I want to ever finish reading that. If you know what I'm saying.
But that's the question, philosophically. If if you believe you're heading down that path to the eventual end,
Mhm.
if you believe that, are you doing everything right in the world? Are you not? If you're just apathetic, that's just as bad as doing bad, isn't it?
Yeah,
So that's what I'm
I
saying.
guess.
So that's why
I guess it's different for each person because God can see into your heart. He knows what your motivation is and what you're doing.
right.
So we can't. All we know is what we are doing. Because
Mhm.
you can be with someone for for 25 years, 30 years, and still not know them. I mean, that's how
True.
they've proven
True,
it
true.
with us. With what was his name, the Golden State Killer. He's married, had kids. BTK did the same thing.
Yeah.
You sleep with someone every day, and you don't know that they're out murdering whole families. I mean, so that just proves it. It doesn't matter. You can be with someone every day and not know them. The only one that knows you is God. That's it. That's in yourself. You know who you are, or you wouldn't be able to sneak. If you're sneaking around to do stuff, you're doing something you shouldn't, right? So,
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
I like what Tiki of Doom says. Our system feels like it's pro wrestling.
It is. That's basically. But the thing is that what's really the scariest part of all this is we've been here before. If you look at history, it's every generation or every 3 generations forgets what happened. The fact that people are embracing communism and socialism and don't see Nazism right in front of you is insane. They think that I don't get it. I didn't even live it. I read the histories, but they're not teaching history anymore. They had this some place where they basically said that any book before 2008, let's get rid of it because it's not doesn't meet diversity, equity, and inclusion criteria. All the history books are gone. They did this in one school.
They want history of now. That's all they want. History of now. That's what I say. Right now, it's history. It's just fact. That's all they care
this
about.
First time it ever happened. Like the idea that nobody but us called out the fact when Jennifer Lawrence says she was the first woman to lead an action role. We did it, and we're called racist and homophobe. Whatever the feminine. What's the anti woman? I don't know what the hell it is. What's a woman to begin with? It's all insane. It's all nuts. Again, Jennifer Lawrence, great actress. When she does great things, she does great things. Whatever. But just shut up and act. You're an actress. You're not an activist.
But what kills me is that they're called anti-fascist, right? But every single thing they do is a fascist. So it's they're taking everything and they're spinning it around, calling somebody a Nazi that doesn't do nothing they're doing, not one act they're doing is what the Nazis did. You see? So
I saw this shit coming.
They're making it they're making a real Nazi not be a real Nazi. Okay. See, it's I don't know. It's just, and it's sad because we have young people growing up thinking that this is all normal, that a person that's a real fascist is somebody that's not a fascist at all, or at least not what a fascist was in the dictionary before. They took all the books and start making changes to them, you see, and fixing it to fit the narratives they want. So each year they'll just go out and print new books and put them in schools, and this is the facts for this year.
Yeah, I always
what history said.
Yeah, I know. I always say that life is not fair. Life is full of possibilities, and life is up to you. That's basically it. Again, you already know you will have hardship. Again, that's friction. You can never move forward without having a little scraping on your feet because you have to progress forward. You can't be free. Oh, I'm free. I can do whatever I want. No, there are consequences of things. And again, I got sick and I'm fighting it every day and I'm battling it. And I'm going to beat this thing. That's what I'm doing. And again,
and you are.
That's my choice. I basically said, like I said, 2 years ago when I basically lost everything. I said, you know what? I'm going to start off on my own. That's why I basically came to everybody here, because I had lost everything. Now I'm gaining it back. And it's a slow process, but I'm going to do it because life has possibility and promise. Good things will happen. And I'm going to continue to do that. Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
But you are wise. And the thing is, every day you get up and you look in the mirror and you see your accomplishments, you're proving it's true. See?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
and the thing is that
you're a miracle in itself.
Yeah, thank you. It's hard. It's a hard thing. I'm gonna do it.
But you're doing it, and you're still doing it. Yes. And you should be proud of yourself. Or I'm proud of you. I try to tell you that as much as I can.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I've just been very, very exhausted. This whole month has been very exhausting for me too. So I'll be putting more videos out soon. But it's been rough.
And it's been 100 degrees outside too, so it's hot, and the heat makes it harder to do things because it zaps your energy faster. So, but yeah. But we've been going at it for 2 hours, guys. So are you guys ready to call it quits? Because don't we play DD tomorrow, or is that next week?
That's tomorrow, Janet.
Oh, okay. So to make sure, because I don't want to end up happening that one time, because I was doing stuff around the house and I'm like, God, I wish we were playing today. I'm bored as shit. I'm doing laundry, but blah, whatever. And then I get on and I see they're playing, and I was like, oh. We were supposed to be playing and I wasn't, so I got on there. I was embarrassed.
Our fucking cleric.
I know, I was so embarrassed. But see, that's why I always ask her every Friday, hey, do we play tomorrow?
She was gone for like 2 hours. We pulled her in.
Yeah, I missed it because I was like going, well, what's going on? I just doing my stuff. My normal stuff. And then when I found out, that's why I got to play. So that was good. But I didn't miss the whole day and just being bored, but whatever. But hey, I love it. It's fun. I'm excited about it. But thank you everybody for showing up. And I'm gonna let Ruben talk about anything he's got planned coming up, and then I'll let Bruce do the same thing.
No problem. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody out there. Yeah, I've been doing my videos. I haven't been doing them lately for about a month, just sporadically, because I've been really, struggling with, my muscle weakness, but I'm okay. Nothing's wrong. I'm just very tired. I'm going to sleep right after this. And actually, I'm on the bed right now. I just go like this, go back to the but I will be doing stuff. But I'm really glad that today, the last 2 days, I've hit my mid 51% goal of my weight loss journey. I started with journey off like 650 pounds, started officially counting down from 567, and today I'm 380. So I want to lose that additional 181 pounds to get to 199. That's my goal, and I haven't been 189 since I was 10. So it's something I've never been to, but I'm going to do my journey, and I'm going to start doing more things. And I do want to do more videos of work, because again, if they say that working out is racist and I'm a white supremacist, then I should call my channel Alt-Right Fitness and start working out, because that's what I want to do.
Hey, that's a great name.
I know I should, because again, we're all like there. I'm not giving up, because I'm not giving up on life. I'm still here, life. I have a lot more to do. And my future wife is out there somewhere. So I'm going to continue to battle for my life and then my future. So I'm here to do that.
Ruben, your princess is in Laredo.
No, God, no. I again, growing up in that city, I never talked to anybody. It's like, I wish if I had the power, where's that nuclear weapon? I would just drop it. And it'd be like one of those foundation ones where not only you die, but everyone in your generational line gets away. Those people were just horrible people to me. Horrible.
I get it. I'm from Illinois, and there's a lot of nice people in Illinois. One of my acquaintances, Nick Weiser, is up in the northern part of the state, and I keep praying for him and his family to move the hell out, because whenever I do win the lottery, I'm going to build a giant wall around Illinois and flood it. Maybe lava.
Just buy Illinois and burn it to the ground.
Next fire's coming right now.
Just gotta get rid of Governor Fatso, and then the next shitty governor that's scheduled to go to prison, because Illinois has a proud tradition of sending its governors to prison for the perp walk after they've served their term in office. It's amazing. We had four in the system at one point. It was great, and I just got to say, like, that was a special moment in time, and nobody learned. We just kept, hey, these guys have been fucking up the state for decades. Let's hire more Democrats. They seem to be known. They know how to do this, right?
Yeah.
Just put it right in the middle of the mountain. Just land the plane nose first, 700 mile per hour, middle of the mountain. No, it'll be fine. It'll buff out. And that's what they keep saying about the economy. It'll be fine. It'll be okay. You'll have your jobs. No, you won't. You can have jobs. You won't have the ability to buy food for your kids. You won't have money to pay for your electricity. Anyway, my name is Bruce, and that was my friend Ruben down below me here. That guy, listen, do me a favor, subscribe to his channel. He's got some real inspiring stuff going on in his life. He doesn't really talk about it much, but he's got some good stuff that goes on, and he probably could throw a little bit more positivity out there by just talking about things. He's a pretty good guy, very quiet, very, very mild-mannered. Should be like what most men aspire to be. Don't be a braggart like me. Don't be a loudmouth like I am. That's just bad for you. You get in fights more often. You end up fired more often. Your job is like, we can't handle your mouth. You're done. And so you go through life and you struggle a lot. But if you're like Ruben, who takes things with a smile and he plans and he's optimistic, like he's really optimistic. Like, dude has got an Energizer battery of positivity somewhere in his back. Yeah, the guy's great.
I got hope. I got hope in my heart still. That's the whole point.
Be like that, okay? No matter what. You're right. Because literally, I lost everything. I have no family, nothing. It's all gone. And then I basically said, screw it. And 2 years ago, basically walked into Las Vegas, basically said, okay, let me talk to somebody finally. So I'm doing that. I'm trying to reach out. And here I am. And it's this basically. And then on top of that, getting sicker and sicker, and then fighting back. It's got to do that. I'm pushing forward. Exactly.
So I'll be back. Thank you.
Got a few abilities, that are really good talents to have. You've got some opportunities out there that if you want to ensnare them, you're going to have to really struggle to achieve them. Mm-hmm. But nothing worth having comes for free. Mm-hmm. So that was something I wanted to talk to about with Drew. But it's a different story with you. Mainly it's with you. We know it's all going to be positioning, because once you get in front of the right human resources person, it's kind of funny. I actually had an interview, two interviews today. One was a firm who needs some products to be developed and for technology, and I said, I can do this for you. See what's out there, and I can do that. I'll do my subcontracting. And the other subcontractor job was an old client I had before, McDonald's. So I did work with him 13 years ago. For the Midwest region, I was responsible for two big projects. Number one, you all will know this. The POS system, when you swipe your cards, that was my project. If you did anything in the Midwest, and also the digital boards, those two are mine. So I was responsible for that when it first launched.
Wow.
I love that. But I love that aspect, because again, it was the idea, you're there and and then I to experience, again, it's McDonald's, but still to go to McDonald's University, I was there to actually taste the food. Oatmeal was still being tested. I went to there and I tested it. And I said, I gave my opinion on something. And I remember that one of the ones I picked actually is now the flavor above it. And it was crazy. And all the different foods from all over the world, and the executives are there, and they're eating McDonald's there. So it's real chefs are doing it. You see it there, and it's really well done. So it's just experience, and I have a lot of experience like that. We all have that. That's what you have to do. Something that you really enjoy or you have in your life that means a lot to you. Like this every Friday, this means a lot to me. I'll always remember this shows.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we
Well,
have to
good.
do.
I'm glad. I'll always remember it.
Tomorrow, we're going to be playing some Pathfinder 3rd edition Dungeons and Dragons over on my channel. Our friend here, Miss Janet from Another Planet, is going to be our party cleric. One of our party clerics. We have two. I believe in doing things big and going full bore. So we've got like a party of 8 people. And that's double the size of what normal modern tabletop RPGs is. If you like that sort of thing, if you like guys sitting in front of cameras talking about game theory, subscribe to my channel. It's kind of long on the tooth. I'm really not a great showman. Some of my content is outright offensive, like to the point where like Howard Stern would clap me on the back, 1996 offensive. And I think that there's a lot of it that could be refined. I'm not the world's greatest host. I try my best, and I still suck. But I'll be here tomorrow, and I might learn something. So keep your hopes up, because I sure as shit am. I have friends like Ruben and guys like Drew that are showing me that no matter how bad life gets, like you keep pushing forward.
You have to.
And
I was going to tell everybody that he sent me a message and said that his internet just all messed up.
Oh no!
So that's
Poor
why
guy.
he didn't get to come back. So I just want everybody to know that.
You know, Drew, we're hoping for you, man. I want you to take life by the fucking horns and steer it where you want to go. You're gonna have
Hopefully
to
you will.
You've got to do some things you're probably not used to doing now. And I'm not saying this out of malign feelings or anything, but I want you to do things right for you, and I want you to gain a career. I want you to be able to enjoy yourself on your own terms, and I think you'll be fine. But you got to take those baby steps that develop into a run. Can't do it for you, and I love you, man. I really do. But
I think he understands that he knows we can't do it. Just like, when I found out what happened, and I called him, and I knew I couldn't do anything. I just want him to know that he wasn't alone, and that I wish I could help him, and that I was, praying for him, and I was praying for his for Will's dad and his family, because it's
lost a
devastating.
39-year-old man.
They lost their son.
Floors me.
They lost their son, and the whole thing was a tragedy, and but people have to get up and live. I mean, we have to live our lives, even throughout the good and bad and the ugly, and do the best we can to make the best of the situation. And I got a lot of trauma going on in my family in the last year. I mean, I'm so shocked that we've survived as well as we have, but by listening to each other and trying to be there for each other, that's what we have. That's all we have is our friends and the people that care about us.
Yep.
They're the ones that are going to miss you when you're not here. When you're no longer around, the people that I've made impressions on, that I've loved and tried to be there for, those are the ones that are going to keep me alive, basically, in their life, is by remembering me, and that's all we have. That's our mark on this earth, is what we give to others while we're alive. So,
there's a friend of mine, Janet, that he's been dead since 1998. And I make sure that at least once a campaign, his character from 1997 and 96 pops up, because that's what Bill would do. Bill would just like, I've been doing deliberations with a client for the past 3 weeks. I haven't been able to be at the game table. I'm so sorry. And that's how he talked. It was kind of funny, but you gotta keep your friends' memories alive. And whenever you have the opportunity to just kind of like elevate a sullen mood, you don't let your friends sit in pain and just like kicking themselves or missing someone. You gotta bring them up a bit, and thank God for guys like Gil. That man lived a very full life. He was a musician. He was a hardcore thinker. He really enjoyed just having palaver with people of all stripes, all creeds, all denominations. He himself really didn't subscribe to the thought of afterlife or whatever. So wherever his soul ends up, hopefully, Gil, it's not that bad or it's not that great. I want you to have a mediocre experience. Sorry, dude. I mean I'm giving you shit, Gil. Love you, but like we disagreed on this on a fucking stream once. Okay, it's good to bring things up again, but I don't want you to have a too miserable time. I hope they don't make you listen to Liza Minnelli wherever you're at. God, that would be terrible. I God, but I mean, the man was an amazing theatrical fucking phenom. He could pull off real good voice impersonations. He was able to entertain.
He was really cool.
And
he was a lot of fun.
And
But he made a difference. See, that's the thing. The people he inspired, the people he made laugh, he made memories with them. And once you've made an imprint on someone's brain, it's always there. And in the middle of something, you'll be doing something or whatever, and all of a sudden you'll say, oh, you start laughing or thinking about it, and it'll put a smile on your face. That's what we're here for. That's how we live on in others, is by what we leave behind. And that's what you leave behind. You can't take any of these things around us right now. None of this goes with you. All you take is this and this. That's why I put that tattoo on my arm for my mom. Mm-hmm. It's to tell me every day when I see it and when I hug people that, I still remember her. I still think about her every day. And I hopefully I can remember all the way until I meet her again in heaven. So.
And that's really, I'm not trying to solicit Christianity here, but I mean, that's the one thing about Christianity that it took me my uncle's death in 2017 to understand the theory of Christianity, which is if you regret the things with a sullen, sunken, ashamed heart, you're like, I really fucked up some things. I'd like to be absolved of these actions here explicitly, and maybe those others that didn't quite please you so much either. If you manage to do that, and if it's, this sounds, walk with me, kids. If Christianity is true, if it's right, you get this really impressive return on this emotional investment where you have the potential of eternity with the guarantee or guarantor of that agreement. Okay. So that's really not a bad deal. And I said, if it's true, because I've got to have this statement follow. Even if Christianity is only an opiate for the masses, as some in the past have declared it may be, even if that's all it is, you still went through life not trying to be a dick, pissing everybody's Wheaties, and generally step on other people to get ahead. So you were basically a really good person and should be still talked fondly about when spirits and good liqueurs are involved. At the very bare minimum, going through life like that's not a bad thing after all. And if all that's required, if the only payment required is I believe, well, shit, that's a hell of a deal. I don't know of any other belief system that has such a thing, And I mean, it nothing against the Muslims, guys. I'm speaking honestly. The last thing I want to do is be in a paradise with a virgin that's constantly virgin. That means that she has no idea what the fuck her body's doing. I don't know about the rest of you people. This is not a good thing. Having to reassure somebody it's okay to fart during sex is like, I'm just saying, like, we went off the rails here, Bruce. Let's stop. Okay, so I just want you guys to understand, like, just go with that entire like forgiveness thing. Go with that. That's better. Don't go with 72 virgins because 72 voices asking you, do I look fat? Am I fat? Do I look fat? Don't. No. That's not a way to end. That's not a way to spend eternity. You hear that bombarded question all the time. Do you think I'm fat? You actually think I'm pretty? Oh my God, this is terrible. No, don't do that. As a okay. Thank you. Right there. Should I finish with Fauci?
Well, I just wanted to say first that Sunday night we're going to be watching Dune, the original Dune, right? Wasn't it the first one?
The 1984 version, the David Lynch Dune. I wish it was David Cronenberg. It's David Lynch. It's the Lynch Dune, but it's the Spice Diver edit, which is 50 minutes longer than the theatrical release.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. It's on HBO. It's on HBO. It's on YouTube.
Yes,
HBO.
indeed. As David
It's on
LePan
HBO.
would say, indeed. So, yes.
Yeah, I'm already working on my costume.
Oh, really?
Can't wait. Yeah, for Monday night.
Now I can't wait.
If
Oh,
she
my
shows up as a Benny Gesserit witch, I will do a somersault on camera.
Well, don't get your hopes up for that one.
Okay.
But it's gonna be. It's really good. I've been working on it this morning.
God in heaven. Okay, never mind.
I love this movie. I absolutely love this movie. It was so good. I mean, it's the epitome of sci-fi to me. So, you know.
Chat, if you did not just fall in love with Janet, don't know what the problem is.
I thought never mind. God darn it.
The thing is that I love movies, you know, and I
I want you to. Yes, my favorite character. I already imagine you my favorite character.
Well, I have people still telling me that out of so far of everything they've seen, they love me as the bar wench still. That's their favorites. So I guess Bendis really like blondes, but oh well. Can't win everything. But the thing is, I do it because I like it. It's fun. I love, I love doing it. It's exciting.
I'm looking forward to it. So that we're watching that Sunday night on my Discord.
And then Monday we do the review.
Monday we do the review, and that's my weekend. That's what I have planned. Ruben, if you're bored, you are invited to come watch it with us on Sunday night.
Thank you.
It's like right around 7 Central.
Yeah, around 7 Central.
Oh, okay.
So it might be 8. Wait, you're in Chirac, so we'll see you.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
We just like everybody just to be themselves and enjoy yourself.
Oh, sure.
Talk about what you like about the movie and what you don't like. No one gets mad if somebody's doesn't like something that you like. I mean, because Bruce and I don't always agree on everything. I mean, we agree on a lot of things, but there's a lot of things that he really thinks is real important. And I'm like, whatever. I don't think that's that important, but it's okay. That's the good thing is when you accept someone for who they are and like them because they make their own decisions, be yourself. That's what I tell people all the time.
Maybe in 2 weeks, we'll also watch Willy's Wonderland.
Oh, no, we won't. No, I wouldn't make it to it. I'm telling you, it's terrible. I will be throwing up before we get that far. I didn't even make it through 15 minutes. Okay, that's how bad it was. It was terrible. Terrible movie. It's the worst one I've ever seen in my life. So I don't want to see it.
Cage film.
There's too many good movies out for us to watch and have to watch something that bad.
Did you ever see there's a review channel called Red Letter Media. I watch them quite frequently.
Yeah, you told me about them.
Okay, they had a review of Willy's Wonderland and the Banana Splits movie, which is basically the same movie but just done with actual like class and planning and money for sets and such. Unlike the Nick Cage film, which is like an outdoor shot at the beginning and the end at 2 different times. Then the rest of the movie is filmed inside a restaurant but it's not a really good restaurant because you have the ball pit right next to where the kids eat, not like 70 foot away like it should be behind a partitioned wall area. You should have the
Mhm.
kids visible from the parents' table, but like they shouldn't be 20 foot away or less. I've been to a few Showbiz pizzas in my life. I know how they're set up. I could probably draw one for you on an index card. I know how this goes.
Mhm.
I really do like the way they broke down that. Yeah, I know Awesome One. They kind of went chill a little bit, but they're still the ones that probably do the best movie reviews aside from me and Janet. And we just haven't hit that 1,000,000 subscriber mark yet. We're still growing. We're trying.
We're trying, and we're going to enjoy every minute of it.
Oh boy, I love it.
I'm not giving up. I ain't quitting. So,
I
but
didn't
I want to
quit.
thank everyone that came and hung out with us tonight, and thank you for supporting us. Because without you, we're nobody. We're just nothing.
Arguing with each
We're
other.
just us by ourselves. So thank you for joining us, and I hope you come back next week. And I hope you join us Sunday and Monday and tomorrow if you want. Support Bruce's channel. But thank you guys very much.
Channel.
And hopefully we'll see you guys again.
If
very
anybody
soon.
here is in the Northern Illinois area, please get in touch with my friend Ruben Christopher Haynes. He is looking for a career in something healthy and a potential life-altering change as well.
Exactly.
Oops, here we go.